So, you did it. You made it through all the applications, you absolutely nailed the interviews, and that job offer has landed in your inbox. What a huge relief, right? But now comes what might actually be the harder part, figuring out if this job is the right job for you. But hey, before we dive in, seriously, take a second and celebrate. Getting a job offer is a massive deal, and you totally earned it. It means a company sees your talent, your potential, and they want you on their team. That's awesome.
And then the other shoe drops. That amazing feeling of relief can kind of start to feel like a new kind of pressure. How in the world are you supposed to know if this specific opportunity is the one that's going to launch you in the right direction for your career and for your life?
Don't you worry, we are going to break this whole thing down. We'll start with that initial "what do I do now" feeling, then we'll get grounded with a few realities of the working world. After that, I'll give you a super practical toolkit to evaluate everything. We'll even tackle the money talk, and finally, help you make that big choice with total confidence. Okay, first up, the offer. Now what? This is usually where the struggle begins, right? That classic battle between your head and your heart. What looks really good on paper versus what actually feels right. And you know what? That's a completely normal place to be. The truth is, a perfect job offer is incredibly rare. I mean, take a look at Carol's situation. She gets an offer from a top-tier company with fantastic benefits. Amazing, right? But the actual work is outside her comfort zone and the commute is a real drag. Or look at Steve. He's got an offer for a super interesting job in a great spot, but the pay is, well, it's lower than he was hoping for. Both of these show you that pretty much every offer is going to come with some kind of trade-off. All right, Section 2, 5 realities of work. Before we even start picking apart the offer itself, let's just take a step back and remind ourselves of a few common-sense truths about work. Having these in the back of your mind is going to help you keep a really clear perspective.
So let's run through these real quick. Number 1, your career path is yours alone. What's perfect for your friend might be a terrible fit for you. 2, your job is going to have a huge impact on your whole life, from your schedule to your stress levels. 3, and this one is so important, there's no such thing as a perfect job. Every job is basically a set of problems you're willing to solve for money. And remember, you're going to be spending 40+ hours a week doing this. That is a massive chunk of your life. Keeping these things in mind helps you focus on what really truly matters to you.
And that brings us to Section 3, your job evaluation toolkit. Okay, this is the really practical part. We're going to give you a system, a toolkit, to investigate every part of this offer so you can make a decision with your head, not just a gut feeling. So here they are, the 4 keys that are going to help you unlock a really smart decision. We're going to look at the job and your personal goals, the company and the people who work there, what the work is actually like day to day, and of course, the money and benefits.
Let's start with key number 1, the job and your goals. See, this isn't just about what you can do for them. It's about what this job can do for you. So you've got to ask yourself, am I actually going to learn new things here? Is there a real potential for growth, or is this kind of a dead-end street? And maybe the biggest question of all, does this job get me one step closer to where I want to be in, say, 5 years?
Key number 2 is all about the organization and its people. Remember, you're not just taking a job. You're basically joining a community that you're going to see every single day. So what's the vibe? Is it super formal and corporate, or is it more relaxed and casual? And which one are you going to thrive in? Also, take a look around. Do people seem to stick around for a while? A high turnover rate can be a bit of a red flag. And please, be honest with yourself about that commute. A long trip twice a day can really wear you down over time.
Okay, key number 3, the scope of the job. This is the nitty-gritty, the day-to-day stuff. Is this position going to be challenging enough to keep you interested, or are you going to be bored out of your mind in a month? What are the hours really like? Is there any flexibility? That work-life balance is so crucial. Then just try to picture it. Put yourself there and ask the bluntest question you can. Would I actually be happy doing this every day? And finally, key number 4, the salary and benefits. It's about so much more than just that number on your paycheck. How does that salary really stack up against what you need to live? You know, your rent, bills, savings. Does the company have good benefits, like medical and dental? Don't gloss over that stuff. It's a huge part of your financial picture. And see if there are other perks like profit sharing or money for classes that can add a ton of value in the long run. Moving on to Section 4, talking about money. Yep, this is the part that can make people feel a little awkward, but it doesn't have to be. Let's talk about how to handle the money conversation like a total pro. You've probably heard this old piece of advice, and for good reason. Your main goal is to let the employer be the first one to say a number. Because if you go first, you might accidentally shoot way too low, or you might ask for so much that you price yourself out of the job. Let them show their cards first.
And you always want to be thinking bigger than just the salary. The magic words are total compensation. This is the whole shebang. Your base pay, plus any bonuses, plus your health insurance, retirement plans, paid vacation, all of it. A job with a slightly lower salary but incredible benefits could easily be the better deal.
When it's time to talk numbers, make sure you frame it around the value you are bringing to them. This isn't about what you need to pay your bills. It's about what your skills and your experience are worth to the company's success.
Now here is a pro-level tip on the order of things. Always negotiate the base salary first. Get that number locked in. Then, once you both agree on that, you can start talking about other things like maybe an extra week of vacation or getting them to pay for a certification. And please, this is so important. You never have to say yes right there on the phone. It is completely professional to thank them for the offer and say you'd like a day or two to think it over. Any good employer is going to respect that, no question. All right, we're in the home stretch. Section 5, making your final decision. You've done your homework, you've weighed your options, and now it's just time to make the call. So let's talk about how to communicate your choice with confidence. Look, whether you're saying yes or no, the goal is to be clear, polite, and professional. If you're accepting, confirm everything in writing, the job title, the salary, the start date, so there's no confusion. If you're declining, just be polite and brief. Thank them for the opportunity. The professional world can be surprisingly small, so you never, ever want to burn a bridge. If you're still feeling stuck between a rock and a hard place, try this super simple exercise. Just make an old-school pros and cons list. On one side, write down everything that's good about the offer. On the other, list all your concerns. Sometimes just seeing it all laid out like that makes the right choice jump right off the page. So, as we wrap things up here, I'm going to leave you with one final question to really think about. After all this, what are your top 3 must-haves? What are the non-negotiable things you need in a job to be happy and successful? Because knowing your must-haves, that's the real secret to making the right choice, not just for this offer, but for your entire career.